The first day that we were officially like a partnership, which was the second time we got together, part of our get-together was just making this almost like mental wish list, if you like. And part of that conversation was we should sign to Rough Trade Records. I said I wanted to see Jeff Travis, and I was kind of hustled out, really. But I kind of hung around, kind of pretending to be like doing stuff with records. And I was in there for an hour or two. And then I saw Jeff come out of his office, and I think he was a little taken aback. I think I actually grabbed his sleeve and stopped him, because he was trying to get away. And I gave him this cassette, and I said, I'm from Manchester, this is my band, The Smiths, and something along the lines of, you won't have heard anything like this before. To Jeff's absolute credit, he called first thing on Monday and just said, this is the best thing I've heard for ages, and I want to sign it to Rough Trade, I want to put this single out. And it was like, okay, bullseye, that's what we're going to do. The majors started inviting us to meetings and got interested in us, but we didn't want to be on a major, and Rough Trade didn't want to be majors. It was a really great partnership. When This Charming Man came out, it wasn't just that things were going in the right direction. I mean, it was like the sun came out for the label and the band and the fans and fans of indie music. It was certainly unusual for Rough Trade to be spending a lot of money on this blanket poster campaign. But it wasn't an issue of them sitting around going, oh, you know, does it go against our principles? They were like, we've got a record that demands a poster campaign. Fantastic, it's all going to come together. They were still Rough Trade Records, doing things in an independent way, and they had a band who wanted to be with them, who were about to have this big run of singles. And they were high on the success they were about to have as a label, and we were high on our success. And it was like a perfect kind of union at that time. For the label, I think it was definitely a period of re-evaluation internally, you know, because it was quite dogmatic, this collective, democratic, immovable model that it had set itself up as. But it really needed to move forward, and Jeff in particular, I think, wanted that and knew that. Studio time was always at a minimum. For me, that was a bit of a problem. Some records didn't arrive at some places on time occasionally. There was some issue with that Joke Isn't Funny Anymore, where I think there weren't enough records pressed. And the band had no manager, so the two principal members of the group are dealing with the label. And it's like any relationship, you know, you're spending a lot of time together and there's a lot of issues and a lot of things at stake. So, like, things get blown out of proportion. I mean, Rough Trade weren't exactly blameless, but it wasn't like a catalogue of catastrophe or anything like that. We were stupid. You know, we had a couple of people around us who gave us incorrect and bad advice. You know, and this lawyer saying, well, go and sign to someone else and shopping for a deal, and we didn't really have the rights to do that. And Rough Trade said, hang on a minute, you know, you owe us a couple more albums. So it caused this sort of like standoff, and then we were told, this record that you're working on is going to be injuncted. This lawyer told me that. And that was a bit of a buzz killer. You know, when you're trying to make a record, like, guess what? It's not going to come out. Right.
Because they didn't have a manager, they lacked any kind of voice that gave them some semblance of reality. I think that's what destroyed them.
We didn't have a calming, organising presence. And that led to a lot of chaos and a lot of drama and a lot of neurosis, and ultimately the band's demise. But all of that drama and intensity went into the music. You can hear it in the music.